Hello and welcome to Tech Week in View on Megawatt TV, where each week we take the biggest stories of the tech world, chew them up, spit them out and tell you what we think. Stay tuned. So, following veiled threats, Apple have finally acted. They've moved in against Palm and the Palm Pre and basically updated the iTunes software to 8.2.1 with the proviso that it addresses issues with verification of non-Apple iPod or iPhone products. What does that mean? It means if you're a Palm Pre user, guess what? You'll no longer be able to use iTunes software to sync up your music if you upgrade. It's fighting talk. It's certainly majorly fighting talk from Apple, because why have they done this? Are they running scared from Palm? Has Palm's pitch of, hey, guess what, guys? You can move to our device, you get a keyboard, you get multitasking, and you get to sync all your music as we've always done from the iPhone. Has that scared them too much? It's interesting, because surely I would have thought that an open system, very much like the web is, an open system of being able to sync any device, whether it be a Palm Pre, a BlackBerry, a Creative MP3 player, or the Zune, if you want one of those as well, to the iTunes store, to be able to then use it to buy iTunes songs, music, videos, blah, 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 would be a good one. Clearly, Apple's business model following this must be that they sell everything's riding on the fact that you'll be enticed into it and then buy their hardware, which is obviously where they make all their money. Now, no, that's not new theory, but I think this Palm Pre thing just shows how valuable buying the product is rather than the money they make on the actual sale of the content, i.e., the digital media. They obviously really can't be making that much money, because otherwise they would just open it up and say, hey, look, we got all these million tracks, we got all these blah, blah, blah. Just come in, sign up and buy them. We don't care really what device you have. Either way, the gloves are off. It's real fighting talk, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks between Palm and Apple. So who would have thought the anxiety and perhaps disaster, some would say, Microsoft has been experiencing over the last couple of weeks would all suddenly change. The sun would come out and they would have a bumper week. Started on Monday with the announcement of Office 2010, a whole load new features, including the whole suite going online, which will obviously appeal to some. In addition to that, lots of new features that will just hopefully increase the performance and productivity of the software. Certainly a good answer to Chrome OS and the Google Docs and, well, basically everything that Google was talking about last week. Then came the launch of Windows 7. Now, I know that Windows 7 is not available until October the 22nd later in the year, but this week saw the pre-orders go live. Your chance to be able to get one of the numerous different versions of the operating system. Well, the good news was it went straight to the top of the Amazon chart. DSGI, which is the company that owns Dixon's, PC World and Currys in the UK, said that they'd outsold sales of Vista pretty much in the first day, and even Microsoft Store buckled under the pressure of people trying to get a hold, pre-order the new operating system. And then finally the week ended with, well, a very strange request from Apple, which was that the Laptop Hunter adverts that Microsoft are running, the ones where they pretty much have a go at Apple all the time, well, they're being very successful. It turns out that an Apple lawyer, supposedly rumor has it, has contacted Microsoft and said, look, do you think you could just stop running these? Clearly, they're obviously having an effect. So well done, Microsoft. Enjoy it while it lasts. So the internet has claimed another victim this week, and it's teletext. Remember that? I remember sitting up in the middle of the night when I was younger watching telly, only for the national anthem to come on and then fuzz. That was it. It was before 24-hour television. Then after a while they decided that maybe we could use this dead time in the middle of the night, rather than just having fuzz, i.e. turning the channel off, to have teletext. It was like the internet but on TV. The pages would scroll through. It was beautiful. You'd watch it and you'd think, wow. Now of course you could get teletext as well on the television, i.e. by pressing a number and then seeing what was on at the local cinema, or seeing what was on now and then and stuff like that. Well, it turns out that all that's going to end, because teletext has been, it's going to close down basically. It's a shame. I'm going to miss it. I'm not going to miss it, really. I mean, why would you miss it? It's just like lunacy. It's like the equivalent of turning on your computer, opening up the browser, and then just waiting for pages to, well, appear in front of you, having no choice really what appears. And when it does appear, not actually having it in any decent shape or form. I mean, Mode 7, I used to program that at school. I mean, like magenta, cyan. I mean, these are like, it's like the web on speed. It was crazy stuff. So it's a shame. But hey, I can't remember the last time I used it anyway. So this week I saw something really cool on Google YouTube. Basically the idea of video annotations. Now I don't know whether you've heard of video annotations yet, but what they do is it allows you to annotate your video. So you can put like a buy this now, and there'll be like a link up here underneath where I'm pointing, so you can then click off and go somewhere else to buy whatever I'm talking about. What was interesting is that some clever chaps over at the Metropolitan Police Service in London have come up with an idea of turning it into a storyboard idea. So the idea is they're using it for anti-knife crime, for example. So what happens is this guy meets a couple of kids, they come to his house, he then goes to grab his wallet and his phone, and he's looking at the knife rack in front of him, and he decides, what do you do next? Up pops a video annotation of, do you take the knife, don't you take the knife, and by clicking the do take the knife, you get zapped straight away to another video that carries on the story. Suddenly dawned on me, it was very much like those fighting fantasy novels as a kid that I used to read. Scorpion Swamp was a favourite, where I just get stuck in a loop going round and around and around. Either way, imagine if you took that scenario and put it into a video. So all of a sudden I'm saying, what would you like to hear about next? You click a button and it takes you somewhere else. Well, let's play it as a movie story, you know, where's the story going? All of a sudden it's, you know, you're zipping across and around YouTube like no man's business, trying to tell a story that's customizable to you. Great thing is there's plenty of different scenarios that you can choose, so you want to rewatch and remake that movie over and over again. And then it suddenly dawned on me that I was quite surprised that the porn industry hadn't already caught on to this. Surely the ultimate would be you're watching a movie, all of a sudden it says, which honey would you like to go home with? Would it be the brunette or the blonde? And you get to decide. Either way, the technology used in the right way, and it seems that the anti-knife crime scenario is doing just that, could be incredibly successful and popular if the right calling was at hand. Well, that's it for this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Why don't you tune in next time for more news, reviews, tips, tricks, opinions, and much more. I'm Stuart Miles. This is Megawatt TV. Thanks for watching.